Richard Casey can bounce back after that awful performance against SC. Toledo and Penn State coming up in just a minute.
Full house, as you would expect. Beaver Stadium in State College. Happy Valley, if you will. Wasn't very happy last week, and special teams had a play in that, didn't it, Nick Lowry?
Well, you know, I've always had a special thing in my heart for special teams. Last week, Penn State did something they don't normally do. They broke down in punt protection. They broke down in their snaps, and they had an opening punt block for a touchdown, which really set the tone for the rest of the day. Today, special teams will be very important, especially for Toledo. If they can put pressure on David Royer, make some big plays there, especially on the road, this could be a good day for Toledo.
All right, thanks. And Gary Pinkel told us yesterday, Don, his special teams weren't tremendous, but they don't beat themselves at Toledo on special teams.
And the difference was he wants them to win a game for them, which they haven't done in the past, and he's hoping they step up their game today. Todd
France will kick it off for the Rockets. This is their season opener. Joe Paterno, 7 wins away from the legends of Paul Bear Bryant. And France with a low line drive kick that will die in the end zone. Kenny Watson unable to bring it out. And the Penn State offense, led by that man, Richard Casey, will take over at their own 20-yard line. He's a senior. Don McPherson, what can they do to make life easier for Casey today?
They have to go back to basics. Give him some basic run plays. Let the line get their confidence underneath them. But go back to basics this afternoon.
The Penn State offense last week, just 142 yards against USC. And they stay basic with Eric McCoo to the 23-yard line. Jake McLean made the stop for Toledo. Penn State offense very traditional, a 2-back look behind Casey. McCoo has a great blocking back in Mike Caramelli in front of them. Problem is they ran for just 6 yards last week. On the outside, they're missing Eddie Drummond. Sam Crenshaw is the speed guy. And the offensive line needs to produce as well. Kareem McKenzie, their best at left tackle. McCoo again, a bigger hole, and this time he's out to the 29, short of the first down. Toledo's defense is an interesting look. You don't see this much. It's a 4-4 look. Here's the front four. DeJuan Gould is probably the best rusher. He's a senior on the outside. And here's the interesting look. The rover, Ira Singleton, will move up as a linebacker. So a 4-4 look puts an awful lot of pressure on this secondary and these corners. Brandon Heflin is a redshirt freshman. Jehu Anderson is just a sophomore. They will be picked on today. Long count. Casey to McCoo, and he stopped. And the Rockets stop him short of the 30-yard line.
Rich, this is exactly what Toledo wanted to do. This is why they deferred when they won the toss. Put their defense, their best unit on the field. Get us stuff, get some confidence early.
Penn State was just 2 of 14 on 3rd down last week. And as Nick Lowry pointed out, David Royer is in the spotlight already. Not a good kick, and a fair catch by Brandon Heflin, who is hit, and a flag goes down. And already, Don, we've seen Penn State without a lot of poise, which is a real strange sight.
A real strange sight to see Johnson get inside that zone and get the encroachment penalty.
It's a 5-yard penalty, and the Rockets will have great field position to start this game.
Heflin very clearly gives the fair catch signal right there. Johnson just has to get out of the way, give him a chance.
Got to give him 2 yards, and he did not give him that. And so the Rocket offense takes over their own 46-yard line. Tavares Bolden is the quarterback, and he'll put it up to the sidelines, and it's dropped. Lyle Green, the fullback, dropped it. What do we have here in Tavares Bolden? The Penn State coaches said he's a lot like Richard Casey.
He is a lot like Richard Casey Casey, and watching him in warm-ups, he reminds me of David Garrard at East Carolina. He's big. He has the ability, you see his numbers, to throw the ball very well, but he's a very strong quarterback with strong legs, and he can run out of the pocket.
He was the finisher last year at quarterback. 7 games he started, but he led that charge for the final 3 wins. Nobody in the backfield. A quick throw to Dante Green. And Dante Green is inside the 45, very close to a first down. The Rocket offense is a versatile one. You can liken it to a Michigan or a Colorado State in the sense that they'll spread you out to pound the ball with Chester Taylor. We told you about Taylor. He's one that you really want to watch. Manny Johnson has the speed. Mel Long has the hands of this receiving trio. And Lyle Green is a fullback / tight end. Up front, we'll see. This is where the battle is to be won. Jim Harding at the bottom of your screen is the best of this bunch. First down, Toledo. Bolden to the air again. And this one is broken up. Mel Long, Bruce Branch on the coverage. Penn State's defense, lost in the mess of last week, played very well. Kirpakis is the leader and maybe the lone big name guy of the front 7 from last year. The linebackers, Gatton, Graham, and Finney are all new. The losses, of course, of Arrington, Brandon Short, and Mac Morrison of last year. Branch and Bao Ju on the corners with James Boyd and Tikas Pettigrew. That's the strength of this Penn State defense, is that secondary. Long, a nice catch. And he's stopped by Ju at the 35-yard line, 2 yards short of the first down.
Pass complete to number 80.
A very cloudy and overcast morning. It's very humid in State College, 80 degrees, and it feels like we're in a sauna at times here. This is a stadium that is undergoing renovations. They're enlarging it to 107,000. 96.5 expected today. Movement on both sides of the ball.
Those are the mistakes you saw from Penn State a week ago, but I like what Toledo's doing so far. They've come out twice with no backs. They've come out in the shotgun. Right now they have 2 tight ends on the field. They're starting to mix things up and give Penn State a lot of different looks.
If Penn State's movement came before Toledo's,
we had encroachment on the defense, 5 yards.
Then that's the result. Let's take a closer look, Don.
The problems continue for Penn State. That's Bob Jones at the top of your screen and Kirpakis at the bottom. Both of those guys got called, I guess, for the encroachment.
Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach for Penn State. Rockets with another first down. Bolden's throw, caught by Green. He gets outside, and Green is out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Tikas Pettigrew and Bruce Branch on the coverage. And this has to be a real shot in the arm to this Toledo ball club.
And what Toledo's doing right now is getting rid of the ball very quickly. Even when they're in the shotgun, they're getting rid of the ball, getting it into their flat to their speed receivers, and taking advantage of the youth of the Penn State secondary.
Gary Pinkel in his 10th year at Toledo. A Don James protege. He was Don James' offensive coordinator at the University of Washington. Taylor gets his first carry, and he's out to the 20-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage. What makes Chester Taylor tick?
I think Chester Taylor is a back who has a lot of power and good vision on the inside. Unfortunately, that last play was a play that they have to run to keep them honest. You see his numbers, 5'11", 205 pounds. He plays a little bit more like a guy who's 215, 220 because he has very strong legs.
That was Toledo's first running play. 3rd and 1. Bolden has the first down. Lyle Green made the catch, and the Rockets are moving on Penn State.
I say again, I'm so impressed with the way Toledo is playing this game. They go with the run fake in the middle. That holds the linebackers. And again, Bolden is so dangerous when he starts to move to the exterior of the line. The defensive backs are going to freeze because he can run for this first down. So he gets a chance to freeze people and allows Green just to sit right past the first down mark.
Taylor the lone setback. Taylor, he's 5, he's in, touchdown Toledo. Chester Taylor, 13 yards, and the Rockets strike first.
Holy Toledo. You gotta like this kid's power on the middle, Rich. I tell you, he can make it go. And there's the Rocket man.
And Joe Paterno is just trying to settle his team down right now. French with the extra point. The Toledo Rockets have come into Happy Valley, driven down the field, stuck it in the end zone, and lead Penn State. 7-0 Toledo.
In 1960, Bill Russell introduced something professional basketball had never seen. It had nothing to do with scoring or rebounding. Bill Russell was the first player in the history of pro basketball to wear a goatee.
When you're an original, you do it your own way. Original Coors.
Original Coors. Looking good.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Hey, Mr. Two-Belt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. I mean, missed oil changes. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Save up to $50 on leading car care products when you buy Quaker State at AutoZone.
Technology is driven by vision.
I always like to build things.
Communicates the data through FIFOs. And
their eyes light up about the projects that they've worked on.
Rearrange it, decompose it.
To create a difference in people's lives.
One of the things about being in technology is that
people don't know what I do.
There are all sorts of levels.
One of our best employees,
they cooperatively multitask.
He would tell us that he actually would wake up in the middle of the night dreaming code. And at that moment, we just hired him.
Techies.com. Tech careers, tips, training.
This can be one of the loudest stadiums in college football. Right now, it's very quiet. Toledo, a 7-0 lead over Penn State.
And you'll see exactly why this crowd is so quiet. We talked about the power of Chester Taylor. You just see him right in the middle. Kennedy is an All-American right there in the middle. Runs right over Kennedy and then drags Boyd into the end zone. Just a tremendous amount of power in Taylor. They did a great job this whole series of spreading out the defense, and then hitting it up in the middle. You see an experienced line for Toledo, giving him the hole, and then he does the rest on his own.
It all started with the Toledo defense stopping Penn State 3 and out on the first series. And then this followed, an 8-play, 54-yard drive capped by Chester Taylor's 13-yard scamper. 2 Penn State penalties on the drive as well. Kenny Watson from his end zone. Kenny Watson goes down at the 14-yard line. Sid Daniels along with Tony Miller on the stop. And here comes Casey. The Penn State offense last week could not run the ball, had trouble throwing the ball.
The 2 things they need to get done right now. One is establish the run. They have to reestablish the line of scrimmage, and then they have to get Casey into some sort of rhythm.
Casey did not throw the ball on the first series. He'll put it up here. Casey, a great scrambler. Getting outside, and down he goes at the 15-yard line. Andy Boyd made the stop. Down to the sidelines, Nick Lowry. Nick?
Well, you know, you were saying that you had to settle down the Penn State team. Actually, they don't need to be settled down. They need to get some emotion. This is a very flat team. And you can see it also in the play of the linebackers. Those young linebackers were completely frozen by the mobility of the Toledo quarterback. And this team's looking around like they're saying, hey, somebody's going to make a big play. They've lost Courtney Brown. They've lost Arrington, two phenomenal all-world players, and they don't have that sense of leadership on the sideline right now.
And maybe, Nick, they don't have that sense of leadership on the offense, Scott.
It's definitely showing so far. It's not coming out of, obviously, out of Casey Richard.
Casey on second down. Larry Johnson is stopped. How about these Rockets? Let's head to the studios and Reese Davis. Reese?
And Rich, like Toledo, Akron expected to compete for a division title in the MAC. They're taking on Virginia Tech. And, you know, they had sacked Michael Vick a couple of times, but maybe 6 days late. But Mr. Vick has arrived 16 yards out. The Hokies up by 7.
Reese, the MAC has a history of pulling upsets. There are Big Ten teams, Big East teams, they'll schedule MAC teams, but when they do it, sometimes they think twice. Casey, he'll go down. Jehu Anderson on the blitz.
They're taking a little bit of a book out of what USC did, giving him some pressure from the secondary. What a great call by Stutz, the Toledo defensive coordinator. He said he's going to blitz from every single direction he could possibly bring someone. Getting someone into Rashard's face early is the key. And Jehu Anderson, number 24, is saying, that's right, baby, we're in town.
David Royer from his own end zone. Toledo will set up the return. Heflin, midfield. Toledo will start this drive at the Penn State 46. Do not adjust your picture. The Rockets lead Penn State 7-0. Rich Waltz, Don McPherson, Nick Lowry. Happy Valley is only happy for a Toledo Rocket group. And there's Gary Pinker. Yesterday in the meetings, he was very calm, very collected, very even-headed. He said he didn't want to get too excited or too down. And his team has played with great poise early on. Bolden got his man down to the 35. Chester Taylor can catch the ball as well.
He can catch the ball, but Rich, Toledo is winning the battle up front. Bolden has all kinds of time to throw the ball. He's standing in the pocket. He has tremendous time in the pocket. This is amazing to see a Toledo team control and neutralize the Penn State line of scrimmage, but no one's in his face. He can pick any defense apart with no one in his face.
5 of 7 already. Taylor, a nice hole. He's tripped up by Bob Jones. A gain of about 5. The Rocket offense, a veteran offense in college football terms. They have a lot of guys backed on. What does that do to their preseason preparation for this first game?
It's a tremendous asset. It allows them to put in different types of blocking schemes. It allows them to work on other things other than just getting timing down. These guys know each other very well and can do a lot of different things up front.
Taylor, this time he's knocked back at the 32. He'll lose yardage. Bob Jones and Anthony Adams first in there. It'll bring up third down at about 7.
Toledo has 8 guys returning on the offense, and that's all with the exception of one 3-time all Big Ten, MAC player on the offensive line, 8 on defense. This team is loaded with some veteran players.
Third down 7. Bolden in the shotgun. Swings it out. This is Antoine McCray, and he's got a first down to the 21-yard line. James Boyd made the stop. That's an 11-yard pickup.
This is just starting to get a little bit tough for Penn State to swallow, I'm sure. They loaded up the left side with trips to the field, and then Bolden just goes the other way. Again, you see their line getting out into the perimeter and blocking people in the perimeter. I can't talk enough about this Toledo line and what they're doing against the Penn State linebackers in front.
On 1st and 10, McCray inside the 20, a gain of 3. Justin Kirpakis made the stop.
Justin Kirpakis with the tackle.
Kirpakis is a guy that Joe Berteno just loves to have on his team. He's a roommate of Ceramelli, the fullback, and they're both blue-collar football players, love to get in there and mix it up. Unfortunately, right now, he is not getting the help from the rest of his defense.
Tom Bradley, the defensive coordinator, told us this is a much different type of defense than last year. It's not a big play defense. They have to play as a unit. Last year, they had superstars. Right now, they're on the ropes. Quick throw to Taylor. They're getting him the ball in a variety of ways. And he's down to the 15. 3rd down and about 4. Toledo on 3rd down last year was very, very good. They are 2 of 2 today. Last year, they were 4th in the country.
Those are impressive numbers, and you have to credit Tavares Bolden for a lot of those 3rd down conversions and his ability to make something out of nothing on 3rd down.
Bolden got his man long with a sliding catch. 1st and goal, Toledo.
As Penn State defense is going to start looking to each other. Last year, they had Arrington, they had Brown, they had Short, they had Macklin in the defense. They had a lot of guys who were going to step up and make plays, and now they're looking for people to make plays. And Mel Long is one of the greatest receivers, has the most consecutive games with the catch. 35 consecutive games for Mel Long. He's Mr. Consistent for Toledo.
One of the greatest receivers in Toledo history. On 1st and goal, Taylor. Chester is down to the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 4. Bruce Branch and Jimmy Kennedy made the stop. How's Joe Paterno taking all of this, Don?
Joe Paterno's been around too long to get frazzled this quickly, but he has to be concerned with how his defense is playing. His offense has had a few miscues, but his defense is not stepping up and allowing Toledo to play the short side of the field very well.
Bolden to the end zone for Long, and it's overthrown. 3rd down and goal. Bao Ju was on the coverage.
We're talking about the Penn State defense last year. This defense today, Tom Bradley, defensive coordinator, talked about they have to find their identity. Last year, they waited for Arrington to make a play. They waited for Macklin to make a big hit. They have to find their identity this year and start looking at who's going to make the plays.
Toledo has controlled this football game in this 1st quarter. 3rd and goal. Bolden to the end zone. It is deflected and incomplete. Tikas Pettigrew made a big play, and that's exactly what Penn State was looking for. Toledo will come out with their field goal unit.
That's what Penn State needed. But you have to, again, Toledo's done a great job of keeping the ball on this side of the 50. They haven't crossed the 30 for Penn State, and that's a big plus for Toledo.
24 yards for Todd France. The junior has been very accurate in his career. And he is accurate here today. The Rockets have 2 scoring drives. And on the road at Penn State in front of 96+, it's 10-0 Toledo.
Lose weight free 24 hours a day with Premier Diet ZX. Like Metabolife 356 and Slim RX, Premier Diet ZX works thermogenically with your body to speed up your metabolism and help you shed pounds and inches fast and easy. Millions of people have used Metabolife 356 and Slim RX because they work, gladly paying up to $50 a bottle. And now you can get all the same active ingredients of Metabolife and Slim RX and all the same benefits free. Premier Diet ZX AM suppresses your appetite and boosts your energy and stamina. Premier Diet ZX PM is specially formulated to help you relax and enjoy a restful night's sleep while still keeping your metabolism in high gear. And if you log on to Vitafree.com or call right now, Premier Diet ZX is giving away a full 4-month supply of both the AM and PM formulas. That's a free bottle of Premier Diet ZX AM and a free bottle of Premier Diet ZX PM every month for 4 months. That's a whopping $400 value free just for calling right now.
Can you believe it? I lost 9 inches of my waist in 30 days.
Call the toll-free number below or log on to Vitafree.com now.
There's something special about football games at night. There's a certain je ne sais quoi. That's French.
It's more elegant, more poetic, more, dare I say, sexy.
It's a lifestyle. Yes, it is.
The Bills want to avenge the Music City Miracle as the Titans invade Buffalo. Right after NFL primetime at 7:30, it's the Titans versus the Bills at 8:30 on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It's football after dark.
Toledo leads Penn State in State College. 3:06 left, first quarter. Big day for college football around the country. Big day right here on ESPN2. Later on today, number 25 Colorado against Colorado State from Mile High Stadium, 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. Then Arizona and Utah, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific as well. That's tonight on ESPN2. Colorado and Colorado State. Remember last year, Don, there were riots in the stands. Gary Barnett said, well, it was our fault because we played so poorly. Colorado State won. We gave those Colorado State fans a reason to get excited.
And I tell you what, they better be careful about riots here in Happy Valley if this thing continues the way it's going.
Kenny Watson from his goal line. And Watson escapes. Is finally stopped at the 15-yard line. Rashard Casey is on his way out. Last week, in the throes of that misery against USC, Joe Paterno pulled him for Matt Seneca. Any thoughts of that right now, Don? How long do they stay with Casey if this offense continues to sputter?
Well, if they continue to sputter, you see that they're out of the polls for the first time since 1990. I think it's a halftime decision, but you might see Matt Seneca early in the second half.
McCoo. And the umpire goes down and goes down hard at the 22-yard line. Jim Thomas, the umpire, was in on the stop.
Well, he's part of the MAC. It's a MAC team of umpires, so he gets a stop. That goes into credit for Toledo.
David Neal is our referee, and Jim Thomas the umpire.
And McCoo with a nice cut block into the vision. There's Neal with the stop. There he is right in the middle of the screen.
McCoo again. Stopped at the 23-yard line. 6 yards rushing last week for Penn State against USC. The lowest rushing total in Joe Paterno's coaching tenure.
And there were a lot of mental errors that led to that. It's not just the power and the design of the plays, but it's the mental errors. And there were plays where they were called to the tight end side and they were actually run to the open side. There were tight ends who didn't release on passes when passes were called. There were a lot of mental errors in that ball game last week.
Larry Johnson behind Casey on 3rd down and short. Casey to the air. Casey to the ground. And Casey will get the first down. And that's what Rashard Casey can do for you offensively. And listen to the ovation. I'm not sure if it's sarcasm or just genuine, let's get it going here in Happy Valley.
Well, I think that they're finally happy that they got a first down, and Rashard Casey makes it happen on his own. But that play started with great defense by Toledo. Nice coverage play by Toledo in the secondary, forcing Casey to leave the pocket.
Which begs the question, can Penn State get Casey out on the edge more often, where he's most effective? There he goes again. And down he goes this time on a big hit by Corey Morris, the junior linebacker out of Berkeley, Michigan.
And Rich, that's not how it's supposed to happen. They need to design something to get him out on the pocket and give him some protection out there. Otherwise, Morris is going to be able to make sticks like this on him all day. Nice pressure, moving him out of the pocket without any design. He is unprotected, and he's got guys all around him when he gets on the perimeter.
This 4-4 defense giving Penn State problems because of the look?
It's the old wide tackle 6 for those people who remember Ross's days back in Maryland.
Caramelli's carry out to the 30. It'll be 3rd down and about 9.
If you remember the days back when Ross was at Maryland,
Bobby Ross
was at Maryland, they had that wide tackle 6. It allowed those guys to get upfield. But the thing about Toledo is they have the strength and the power with Frierson in the middle and McLean in the middle to put pressure on Casey and then contain him on the outside.
3rd down long. Rockets show blitz. And here they come. Casey unloads, and it's incomplete. And the Rockets have held again. Tavares Bolden will get the ball back with a 10-0 lead. Final moments of this first quarter.
Well, Casey will get booed on that. But that guy right there, Sam Crenshaw, did not look. It was obvious that there was a blitz coming in the middle. He has to read that and break his route off very quickly. He didn't do that, and Casey had no one to throw to. David
Royer has been out much more than the Nittany Lions would like to see. His 3rd punt already. And this is a high hanger. Brandon Heflin will let it drop. And Penn State finally gets a break to the 24-yard line. 46 yards on the punt by the sophomore, David Royer. The first quarter is history. And the Toledo Rockets and Chester Taylor have come into Happy Valley and taken it to Penn State. 10-0 Toledo.
ESPN's 2-Minute Drill, premiering September 11th.
Have you got the answer?
You have responsibilities. Doesn't mean you have to drive around with them. Monsoon audio systems in the Volkswagen Passat. Drive drenched in sound.
The Great White has an olfactory system that can detect a single drop of blood in the water from up to a mile away. Their jaws crush titanium at an astonishing 4 tons per square centimetre. All in all, they're nature's perfect killing machine.
How many years have you been studying the Great White?
Well, none. I don't even swim. But I did stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
All right. Who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I figured out how to link up 23 Bradleys, 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, 4 medevac units, and 7,000 troops on the move. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
Hey, beer man, one for the groom-to-be?
Bachelor party, eh? Well, this is Frost Brewed Coors Light. Are you ready for that kind of commitment?
Yeah.
Please rise. Come on, stand up. Do you take this can to be your very own? Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish every ounce of this Rocky Mountain refreshment?
I do.
Told myself I wasn't gonna cry. If anyone here has reason why these two should not be joined together, speak now. Beer man. Oh, there you go.
Here at Cooper Tires Test Track, they're developing some pretty impressive tires. Hey.
Record time, Mr. Palmer.
Cooper Tires. drive on.
Offensive coordinator Fran Ganner, who has been a part of this program for 30 years, and Joe Paterno trying to figure out what has gone wrong today. Toledo 10, Penn State nothing. Rockets with the football at their own 24. Bolden swings it out. Jason Spiess, the tight end, out to the 26-yard line, a gain of maybe 3. Numbers don't lie, I guess, is the story here, Don McPherson.
Numbers don't lie, and neither does the most important number up at left corner of the screen is 10-0. But the key stat there is only 1 first down for Penn State. They haven't been able to get anything going in this ballgame.
An empty look, no one behind Bolden. Bolden's in trouble, and he dives out to the 29-yard line. Quickly to the studios, Reese Davis.
Rich, it appeared the Nittany Lions were the only Big Ten team struggling. Ohio State tried to punch it in from 4 times inside the 5 against Fresno State. This is 4th and goal, and Derek Holmes is stuffed. Fresno denies him. However, a couple plays later, ball gets loose. Michael Dawson recovered for the Buckeye touchdown. David Mitchell's just picked up another fumble and returned it, and the Buckeyes are up by 13.
3rd down 5. Toledo is 3 of 4 on 3rd down. Bolden caught by Long for a first down at the 36-yard line. Mel Long has caught a pass in 36 consecutive games. That is tied for first in the longest streak of games with a catch currently in the country.
And sometimes when you're a wideout, you have to make it happen on your own. And you see Long go up, nice strong hands, playing a nice tough ball game against Baoju out there in the corner.
Antoine McCrary. We haven't talked about Antoine McCrary. Chester Taylor has all the headlines, but McCrary is a talented junior that Toledo likes as well.
They think he's every bit as talented as Taylor. Maybe doesn't have the numbers or the experience, but you see his size. He's a big kid. He can hit that hole very quickly.
Kerpakis to the sideline. Bolden. He'll go down. Nittany Lions got him back to the 35. Michael Haynes, the sophomore, out of Columbus, New Jersey.
You know, this is not a sack that I get too upset about if I'm the Toledo coaching staff. You have to take a chance to spread the field vertical. They have to give these guys a chance to run down the field, so you don't mind this kind of sack. You've been able to spread the field laterally. You have to take a shot at looking downfield.
3rd down 12. This is the longest 3rd down attempt for the Rockets today. And here comes the blitz. Bolden deflected and almost intercepted. Baoju with the play. Mel Long was the intended receiver.
And now you see the difference between these two teams in the secondary, that Penn State is probably a little bit quicker in the secondary and a little bigger in the secondary, able to cover the longer passes. Toledo needs to go back to that short control passing game.
This is a situation that Gary Pinkel was concerned about. Brandon Hannum is a true freshman, a walk-on punter. This is the first collegiate punt he's ever attempted. And it's in front of 96,000 on the road at Penn State. And he gets it away, and it's a good kick. Rod Perry. Perry to the 40. And a good return by Rod Perry. Penn State has their best field position of the day.
A fantastic kick by the freshman, and the problem might be that he outkicked the coverage on this one.
51 yards for his first effort as a college punter. But they hit you in college as well. 10-0 Toledo.
Yes! There we go. You're mine. Yeah, you. Sweet. Looks good to me.
Tiger may never get into the Olympic Games, but at least he can get into an Olympic Edition Regal.
Looks like I got the gold.
Now save $1,250 on the Olympic Edition Regal for a limited time at your Buick dealer.
2 years ago, I had dropped all the way to 141 in the world. For me, it became a fixation. 140, 141.
When you're ready to look out for number one, Twin Lab will show you how. With innovative sports nutrition, vitamin, and herbal formulas that help turn who you were into who you are.
Now, I've got another number I'm fixated on.
Twin Lab. Answers for life.
Right now, save 20% on all Twin Lab sports products. Only at GNC.
Shouldn't everything be this simple? Thousands of new and pre-owned cars from AutoBytel.com. Low, no haggle pricing and a pre-owned car guarantee. AutoBytel.com.
If you're calling your village, collect calls with 1-800-CALL. AT&T can save you big bucks. It's the same low rates every minute, everywhere. 1-800-CALL-ATT.
You have saved big bucks, my son.
Your heart is 80% water. Your muscles? They're 75% water. And your skin? 70% water. Every part of your body needs pure water. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
True freshman walk-on Brandon Hannum's first punt. And here's how it went. Well, at least Arrington wasn't around to jump on him after that. And he made the tackle. 51 yards. He makes the tackle, and he gets hit. That's a great way to start a career. Casey to the air. A nice catch. It was thrown behind Sam Crenshaw, and he held on. A 9-yard pickup. This man desperately needs some confidence right now.
He does, and that's a sure way to get it with a nice short passing game. But you have two freshmen on the corners for Toledo. And Sam Crenshaw can fly. They can push these guys off with the kind of speed that they have with Crenshaw and McCoo, the kind of speed that they have on the corners. And let Casey get into some sort of rhythm.
Kenny Watson on the carry, and he's got a first down, and it looks like the Nittany Lions have found a little bit of rhythm, as have we. To the studios, Reese Davies. Reese?
Rich establishing his rhythm is John Navarro of Michigan against Bowling Green. Pretty good idea if you're going to make your first start, just look for David Terrell. 42 yards out. Navarro's 5 of 6 for 131 yards. Who's that third baseman for the Reds again?
Very nice. Well, you know, Rashard Casey was a baseball draft pick as well. Casey getting outside where he's most dangerous. And he's out of bounds, chased by Ira Singleton and David Gardner.
Ira Singleton forces it out of bounds.
Rashard Casey makes a big mistake right here. He has to throw the football on time. He gets nice play action. This is what I was talking about earlier. Get him on the corner with some protection. You see Cermelli with the block. Now he's pointing. He had an open wide receiver right away. He's got to throw the football right there. Down the bottom of the screen is Perry. He has to throw the football on time.
McCoo got through the blitz, but is short of the first down. It'll be third down and less than a yard. Penn State's offense, Don, is a traditional drop-back offense. You think of the big quarterbacks, like Kerry Collins, Thompson of last year. Have they changed their offense at all for Casey?
Well, according to Frank Ganton, no, they haven't, and no, they will not. They're going to make him a drop-back passer. On occasion, they'll do what they did the last play. They'll get him out on the perimeter with some protection, let him throw the football with some protection out there in the corner, and they want him to improvise very, very little and stand in the pocket.
In fact, Kevin Thompson and Casey were part of, not a quarterback controversy, but last year a lot of people felt Casey should have played more, Thompson should have played less. Thompson called Casey last week after the USC game and said, look, and he offered him some advice. He said, you know, a lot of the same folks that were calling for you last year are the ones that are upset with you this year. Play for yourself, play for your team.
And that's good perspective to come from a former teammate. Again, another quarterback who is having people tell him you should be starting over Casey. Now Casey knows it's his team.
3rd and short. Long count. Casey sneaks it and has it. First down, Penn State. The Stars will come out on Labor Day. Major League Baseball on ESPN and ESPN2. A triple header on ESPN. The Mets and the Reds. The Phillies and the Giants follow that. And then the Pirates and the Dodgers. Labor Day Baseball. Penn State football at the Toledo 29. Toledo on top, 10-0. Casey. Over the middle, it's deflected and incomplete. It went through the hands of Rod Perry.
These are the problems that haunted them last week. When you get an opportunity, they're finally getting a chance to move the ball down the field. And Casey's been doing a nice job with his fundamentals. Nice ball fake here to McCoo. You see him get the linebackers moving. Now he sets his feet and throws. Accurate with the football. Those kinds of drops hurt them last week. They can't afford them again today.
Second down, 10. Casey again. This one too high for Sam Crenshaw. Brandon Heflin, the redshirt freshman, was on the coverage, and that's a matchup that Penn State would like to exploit.
It's a matchup they need to exploit more and more quickly, and big plays are missed opportunities right here. Crenshaw, it's a high throw, but he has his hands on the football. Coaches, all the time, you get your hands on the football, you should catch it. It's not an easy catch, but you got your hands on it.
Oh, spoken like the quarterback that you are. Third down and 10. Rockets like to blitz. Here they come. Casey lots of time. Incomplete. Man open. Crenshaw couldn't hold it.
You know, we talked about Casey. Is it Casey? We talked about this in the open. It's not Casey. He's getting the time to throw the football. The offensive line's doing their job. Joe's trying to keep everybody going, but you see Crenshaw once again leaves his feet. Keep your feet, make the catch.
We talked about the first collegiate punt by Brandon Hanna. Ryan Primanti will attempt his first collegiate field goal. Or rather his second. He had one last week from 37. Travis Forney had been a fixture at the kicking spot. And this one has the leg, but not the accuracy. He misses from 46 yards. Nothing is going right for Penn State.
I know a lot of coaches call it the kicking game. It's the special teams, and so far they haven't been special for Penn State.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac! I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
This is a weird one. Guy's got a metal plate in his head. Now he's picking up radio signals on it.
Two outs here at the top of the fifth. Score tied at 3. Here's the pitch. A swing and a drive.
Having a few friends over?
A home run by Johnson.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
This is a weird one. This guy's got cable.
Yes!
Here we go. You're mine. Yeah, you. Sweet.
Looks good to me.
Tiger may never get into the Olympic Games, but at least he can get into an Olympic Edition Regal.
Looks like I got the gold.
Now save $1,250 on the Olympic Edition Regal for a limited time at your Buick dealer.
ESPN2's presentation of college football is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers.
That is the Paterno Library that Joe and Sue Paterno provided $3.5 million for. The new library on campus is something that Joe Paterno is very, very proud of. He spoke about it at length with us yesterday, Don. He said, you know, rather than you know, donate to a stadium or an athletic building, he was an English lit major, and he said that's where he met his wife, in the library.
That's right. He's a graduate of Brown that has one of the greatest libraries in the world, and he said you can't be a big-time university unless you have a big-time library.
Toledo ball, their own 29. Chester Taylor. He's out to the 36-yard line. Justin Kirpakis made the stop.
Justin Kirpakis with the tackle.
The Rockets have a 10-0 lead. They dominated the first quarter. 2 long scoring drives and good defense has provided them with a 10-0 pusher.
Update, second quarter, Michigan 14, Poland 3-0.
The no back look. This is a little different wrinkle that the Toledo coaches put in for this game. That one is incomplete. Chester Taylor was the intended receiver, as is Reese Davis. Reese?
All right, guys, let's go down to Blacksburg, where it appears there is no danger of a sophomore slump for Michael Vick. Taking on Akron, this time on the option, and one tackle is broken, and the Zips have been victimized. 63 yards, he takes it to the house. The Hokies have added another one. They're hammering Akron 21-3.
But the pride of the MAC is right here at State College today. Toledo on top in Penn State. 3rd down, 3. Tavares Bolden will throw. Broken up. Mel Long was the intended receiver. Bao Ju, the defender.
Nice coverage by Bao Ju that time. They're starting to pick on him. It looked like Bolden's been looking left most of this ball game. Nice defense by Bao Ju. Good bump and run coverage. Even on the slant route, gets a hand in. Nice coverage.
Senior, I think the secondary for Penn State is the strength of that D.
Well, it definitely has not been the front this game so far. They've given Bolden a lot of time to throw the ball.
Hannum, his second career punt. And this one is caught by Rod Perry on a fair catch. His first one was 51 yards. His second one, 44. Not bad for a freshman.
They say he's awesome, that he fights with breathtaking skill and power and incredible hand speed. They say he's a fighter blessed with everything and may be one of the 3 greatest fighters of all time. You too will believe when Roy Jones Jr. takes on undefeated #1 challenger Eric Harding, the man with magic in his fists. Jones versus Harding, September 9th, live on Direct Ticket. Live on Direct Ticket pay-per-view on Direct TV channel 101. You too will believe.
Montana rolling out the right, looking toward the end zone, throwing under pressure, throws his pass, caught by Clark.
It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way.
Unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
To see this stuff, you'll need NFL Sunday Ticket Extra. It's free when you subscribe to NFL Sunday Ticket, or pay just $1.99 per viewing. Tune in to NFL Sunday Ticket Extra.
It's a touchdown for the 49ers!
Do you see that interception? Yeah. Man, that was dope. Whoa, 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 whoa. How many times I have to tell you this? When you're standing at the trough at a football game, you never, ever acknowledge a person next to you under any circumstances. Listen, if it helps you, focus on a piece of dirt in front of you. Keep your eyes forward until you're zipped up, all right? Come on now, you're better than that. And big fella, let's keep the eyes on the wall. Eyes on the wall.
Tavares Bolden on the phone right now with his offensive coordinator, Dave Christensen. Toledo has a 10-0 lead. Penn State football, their own 29. Casey got his man, and this one is caught. John Gilmore, the tight end. Speaking of freshman kickers, that's David Kimball, who's a freshman from nearby State College, Pennsylvania. That was his first collegiate field goal attempt, not Primante's, and Kimball missed it, a 46-yarder. So Penn State trying to find the right combination for the place-kicking game as well. Maybe Nick Lowry has got some eligibility left down below. Kenny Watson. And Watson to the 43-yard line. Speaking of Nick, he's down below. What's up, Nick?
Well, I've been watching Larry Johnson talk to the defensive line, and it just doesn't seem that there's a tremendous amount of intensity right now. One of the things that when you have a team like they had last year with tremendous abilities to make big plays, those big plays inject confidence and emotion. And right now they haven't had a lot of big plays, but the other side of the ball, their offensive line is beginning to look, as you get on the sideline, you get close at them, it looks like they're beginning to sense that they can begin to move this Toledo defensive line. So look for, I think, Penn State. They can score on this drive. Maybe they're going to gain some confidence and show what they're made of.
That's a good point. The throw by Casey bounces to Gilmore, and it's incomplete.
Coverage by Brandon Heflin.
Hey, Nick, how about the kicking game? Your thoughts on Penn State? They've missed a field goal. That was supposed to be a big factor coming into today.
Well, it's clear that their punter's not really booming the ball. They're not going to give them a big edge. They want to make the makeable kicks, but it would have been nice. I'm a little surprised, frankly, that they didn't go with Primanti. They had the wind behind them, and I asked Primanti why they didn't go with him, even though the other guy's supposed to kick the long field goals, and they said, well, we want to give him some experience. Well, give him some experience when you're winning the game.
Yeah, they need points, not experience right now. Larry Johnson caught by Leo Frierson, and it's 4th down. And the special teams are right back out. David Royer's going to have to punt.
A big hit by Leo Frierson in the backfield. On that last series, both of the corners that we talked about, they should be testing, did very nice jobs. And right here you see Frierson making a great tackle and a great contact 3 yards in the backfield. Great penetration.
Royer's kick is a high wobbler. And it lands out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. 40 yards on the kick. ABC College football today at 3:30. Number 3 Alabama with a test against UCLA. Some of you will see BYU and Virginia. Check your local listings. Get all the games on pay-per-view by calling your local cable or satellite company.
I like Alabama this year. I think they're going to be a tough team. You see, unless they come across this guy right here, Frierson is fired up in Happy Valley.
Well, there's the emotion. It's on the Toledo sideline. And the Rockets ripped this one out to the 24. Chester Taylor. Bob Jones made the stop.
Hey, match him sucker, something's getting off. All right, then you look for scramble after that. Match, get your width. Match him sucker, you're going to get a pick. You're going to get a pick right now. Hey, call me, on that one that was incomplete, get that big. That's the switch route.
That Toledo defense has played well today. Taylor again. Taylor to the 29-yard line. Aaron Gatton made the stop.
Rich, with each first down, Toledo gains more and more confidence in this football game. They've managed to keep Penn State scoreless through almost 2 quarters. Every time they get a first down, their confidence builds, and also right now they're keeping their defense off the field, and it's getting warm out here.
Gary Pinkel has to be very happy, obviously, with a 10-0 lead. Look at Chester Taylor, 58 yards now. Taylor, nice cutback, and Taylor is out to the 38-yard line. Justin Kerpakis made the stop. We step aside for Reese Davis.
All right, Rich, we've seen some of the highly ranked teams come out and their offense has sputtered a little bit. Then there's Nebraska. Against San Jose State, Eric Crouch, who had already run for 1 touchdown, now throws a touchdown pass. 27 yards to Tracy Wistrom. 14-0, the Big Red thrashing machine up.
Thanks, Reese. Toledo has a 10-0 lead over Penn State. And although Toledo is a member of the MAC, and you don't associate it with big-time football, Gary Pinkel knows about playing a team of Penn State's caliber. As we watch the measurement for a Toledo first down, it'll be 2nd down and very short. He was Don James' offensive coordinator at Washington through the late 80s before he took the Toledo job in '91. And obviously Washington under James had a tremendous run, won a national championship, and he faced some of the biggest names in college football.
We asked him about being on the field against Joe Paterno. He said, there's no question, you're on the field with a legend, but my mentor was Don James.
Second down. 1. And the Rockets pick up the first down. Chester Taylor, they move the sticks again. And it's something Toledo has done with great frequency today.
That has been a key, and that is a testament to what's going on up front. When we talked to Dave Christensen about their offense and what their favorite run play is, he said zone blocking, which means nothing fancy. Just go at them and let Chester Taylor read the break.
Taylor reads the break, and he's out across midfield. Into Penn State territory. Kirpakis made the stop. I'm not surprised Toledo is playing well right now, but Don, this has to be a shock that they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
It definitely is a shock that they're controlling the line of scrimmage, and the way they're doing it. They're controlling it in the pass game. You see them moving people out. You see Adams, you see Finney, you see these linebackers and defensive linemen for Penn State that were All-Americans in high school. These are not just a weak team. These are good football players.
And that's another issue in this football game that we'll discuss. On 2nd and 2 now, Bolden with time, and a sliding catch at the 36-yard line. Greg Grothaus, the tight end.
You call the right play at the right time. You got the boot coming out of the pocket for Bolden. Nice block there by McCray. And then the patience of Bolden to let Grothaus come across the field, clear the zone. Nice play. Right time to call that play. You run the ball, then you go into play action and drag your tight end.
14 yards on the pickup on 1st and 10. For Mel Long. Oh, just out of his hands.
Mel Long wants that one back. That was 6 points. Toledo is mixing it up so well. They're running, play action, straight drop back. Bolden all the time in the world to throw. He'll get another shot at that. Good protection. Sturdivant on the blitz. Good protection with the block by McCray.
McCray with a nice move, and he's got another first down for the Rockets. Michael Haynes and Tikas Pettigrew made the stop. Antoine McCray, who is Chester Taylor's backup, is not playing like one today. Both of these backs are having big days. And the Rockets continue to move the football. The clock running down. This is a dominating effort by the Toledo Rockets.
And when you look at McCray's numbers, that's proof that it's happening up front. It's not just the All-American candidate, Chester Taylor.
This is the All-American candidate, Chester Taylor, to the 20-yard line. Don, you made the mention that Penn State is filled with blue chippers and great high school All-American players. Toledo knows that. For many players in the MAC, they've been passed over by the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Michigans. I think Toledo has used that as a rallying cry going into this football game. Their coaches talked about a chance to prove something.
No question. Gary Pinkel talked about it, but the players, I'm sure, talk about it much more. They know these kids. They played against some of them in high school. They know who they are, and they know they were passed over by big programs like Penn State.
Taylor, short of the first down to the 16. The MAC is a great football league throughout Michigan, Ohio, and it draws from a rich area of football recruiting. And for these kids that are on Toledo and the other good MAC teams, they may not have been the fastest or the biggest in their class, but it doesn't mean they're not good football players.
And Gary Pinkel said that his team has gotten better over the last 10 years, partially because of the 85 scholarship rule. They've gotten bigger and faster over the past 10 years.
Third down short. Taylor, he's got it! Taylor to the 5-yard line. First and goal, Rockets. James Boyd made the stop.
And Toledo's line is doing a tremendous job. Coming straight at you is Comer, and then you'll see the line coming this way, pushing out Branch, pushing out the secondary. That gives Taylor the vision to come back in. You see Branch backing up towards the screen, number one. That's opening up that hole and allowing Taylor to hit the seam in the middle.
McCray down to the 3-yard line. Bruce Branch made the stop. Keep in mind, there's a minute 22 left in this first half. Second and goal. This is a Big Ten type drive for Toledo.
It's killing time and killing yardage. 80 yards, lots of real estate.
Gary Pinkel trying to stick it in the end zone. Chester Taylor. Taylor to the 1. Third and goal from the 1. Aaron Gatton, the senior, made the stop along with James Boyd.
Watching Penn State in practice yesterday, practicing their goal line offense. Goal line defense, they're very aggressive. They fly around down here in the goal line, I think a little bit more than in the middle of the field. And that's an indication that they may be thinking too much on defense.
Gary Pinkel is going to wait for the play clock to run down and then call a timeout. So with 36 seconds left in the first half, the Toledo Rockets are on the doorstep again. And Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions are reeling. Back after this.
I love strawberries.
I love you.
Mozzarella, luscious toppings, a fresh baked crust. You invited a pizza delivery guy here? What kind of girl do you think I am?
But it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
For fresh baked pizza at home, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
I'll call you.
Suddenly, it seems everyone's offering you e-business solutions. But ask them a simple question, like, have they spent the last 5 years pioneering the business-to-business revolution on the web? And see how they react. Dell knows how he works. Visit Dell.com.
Dell Business Servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
Reese Davis with you in our College Football Today studios. Coming up on the Buick Halftime Report, might be a few days late. Michael Vick making quite a season debut. So is Michigan's new quarterback, John Navarre. And we'll look ahead to Bama and UCLA. But let's get back out to State College for the rest of the half, guys.
Not much time left in the half. 36 seconds left. Toledo, third and goal. Taylor stopped, and he's in. Chester Taylor was stopped at the 1, and he spun out of it. And the Rockets have a 16-0 lead over Penn State. My goodness.
And it's worth the trip for those Rocket faithful who came all the way from Toledo.
Chester Taylor is showing the country why he is an All-American candidate. France with the extra point. And the Toledo Rockets not only are leading Penn State, not only are beating Penn State, they're dominating Penn State.
He does it because he loves it. Things don't always go quite like he plans, but I am glad they have a coach like him. Sports gives these girls confidence that they can use their whole life. To him, it's not just about the game. He really wants to teach these girls how to dream big.
Penn State, from its founding in 1855, has always had as its mission teaching, research, and service. The most important thing that this university does is to turn out the next generation of graduates, educated citizens, parents, community leaders. So Penn State is making life better in Pennsylvania and beyond.
Chester Taylor and the Rockets have a 17-0 lead.
And Chester Taylor does a lot of this on his own. Second effort there against Gatton.
This is Kenny Watson on the return. With 26 seconds left now in the first half, Chester Taylor is up to 86 yards. And Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions are down 17-0. 83 yards on that play, Donnie Mack.
You know, after the punt, 14 plays, 83 yards. That is, you're right, that's a Big Ten type drive. And when we watch the beginning of it, Taylor on that drive, 11 times he rushed the ball for 63 yards. That's workhorse. Against a Penn State defense, you don't see those kinds of runners get those kinds of ground yards.
On 1st and 10. Casey has time and a lot of green in front of him. Caught from behind. It'll stop the clock as they move the chains. Joe Paterno wants a timeout. And the Nittany Lions will stop the clock. Toledo 17, Penn State nothing.
Penn State there first. They have 2 remaining in the half.
You got to start your NFL Sunday with Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on ESPN, and of course NFL Prime Time at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. All the highlights, Chris Berman and Tom Jackson on late. We got Stuart Scott, Sterling Sharp, and Chris Mortensen on early. Boomer and Tom.
A whole bunch of people in the studio for that show.
Joe Paterno won't be watching, I would expect, because Joe Paterno will be watching the film of this sucker. He
will be watching this film over and over. And you know, last week they talked about just getting out of the USC game, studying the film and moving on. They're going to have to look more closely at this ball game.
Our Buick halftime report coming up. You can see the construction that's going on here at this stadium. It hasn't dropped the capacity at all. They're extending it to 107,000 with a $93 million renovation. Toledo may have delayed that construction a bit with this first half. Casey's throw, it drops. And you're right, Don. It hasn't been Rashad Casey's fault. His receivers have not helped him at all.
And in fact, he's been the only bright spot so far. The last scramble, a few scrambles, a few poor decisions, but for the most part, he's put the ball on target, and he's had at least 4 drops so far in this ball game.
Casey out of the pocket, 0 of 2.
And just that 1 sack, as poorly as they've been playing, they're blessed to have only 1 sack.
Second down. With just 13 seconds left. First half. KC. This one is dropped again. Rod Perry, the intended receiver.
Staggers the imagination, doesn't it? Casey has done a tremendous job putting the ball on target play after play. And he is getting no help from his supporting cast. The offensive line doing a nice job up front. Casey stands in the pocket. Perry turns his head. And that's exactly what's supposed to happen to a wideout. When you drop the ball like that, you get smashed right in the mouth. If you're worried about where it's going, that's what happens to you.
Fabian Burke did the smashing. The senior out of Kitchener, Ontario. 5 seconds.
To drag defensive backs into the end zone, and then against defensive linemen, he has the moves to spin into the end zone. On the other side for Penn State, it's been mistakes. First a drop by Crenshaw, and then a drop by Perry. That's been the difference for Penn State not getting anything going. It's been all mistakes.
Gary Pinkel yesterday told us he felt his team would play well, but he wasn't overly excited. He wasn't overly intimidated. He was very, very calm. He's kept that demeanor throughout the first half, and I would expect he kept it at halftime. Well, Joe Paterno was anything but calm in the first half. He paced the sidelines, and I'm sure was obviously upset. That one into the end zone, and Toledo will get the football at their 20-yard line. Numbers from the first half. Don McPherson, anything jump out at you?
Well, a number of things jump out at you. Obviously, total yards, 190 total yards for Toledo. The way they've controlled the clock, most important, 17 and a half minutes, almost 18 minutes with the ball. Biggest stat for Penn State, 5 drop passes. Those mistakes will kill this football team if they continue.
13 first downs for the Rockets, who along with Chester Taylor controlled the ball, controlled the clock, and lead 17-0. Taylor out to the 25-yard line, down to the sidelines. Nick Lowry. Nick?
Well, guys, Gary Pinkel said we've got to continue to execute. We've got to be ready for that Penn State surge in the second half. We got to cover punch better. They had that return late in the second quarter that gave Penn State some room to move. And basically, we just got to keep playing our game. On the other side of the ball, Joe Paterno, you can tell, he's just simply saying we have to execute better, but it's very clear to me that he's not very relaxed, and his team is playing that way as well.
Bolden, a quick throw to Long, who drops it. And that is a rarity. Mel Long dropped what would have been a touchdown pass in what ended up being a touchdown drive, and he drops that one.
And this is what they call the drop skis, and it is contagious, and the wind must be blowing from Penn State over to Toledo, because Mel Long, just a nice, easy catch. And Bolden's not very happy about that. He wants his team to keep the pressure on Penn State.
Third down, 5. Taylor stumbled, finds his footing, finds a first down to the 36.
Oh, that's what you call an ankle buster. What a move by Chester Taylor. You know, they've been doing a lot of basic blocking, just giving Chester Taylor a chance to get into the secondary. You see the move on Scott, the safety man coming in. That's a tremendous move.
And those are tremendous ankles. Taylor gets it again. In fact, last year, Don McPherson, Chester Taylor sprained his ankle 3 times and missed 3 games. So what did they do? He underwent I don't know if it's revolutionary, but it's a brand new therapy called prolotherapy. They injected calcium glutamate into his ankle ligaments to strengthen it. They got him some new ankle braces, and he's been like a new man. I mean, he ran for 1,100 yards on bad ankles last year. He's got good ankles this year. Bolden caught by Dante Green. Not a big gain. Out to the 45-yard line. Chester Taylor, over 100 yards today.
That's a well-deserved towel over his head. 5.5 yards to carry, 2 touchdowns, 19 times he's carried the ball. He's been the workhorse for Toledo. They haven't had to do too much else because Chester Taylor has really carried this team on his back.
Have you ever heard of anything like prolotherapy where they inject your ankle?
I can't even say prolotherapy. Or that calcium glutamate that you said was in his ankles.
I thought it was a food additive. This is McCray. And McCray and the offensive line have another Toledo first down. And it looks like the Rockets have come out just like they did in the first half.
They certainly have, and you have to just give Gary Pinkel's credit for doing one thing very well, and that's keeping his team even-keeled. He was very quiet yesterday. He said, well, listen, if we get an upset, I'll have to deal with that. He didn't say we want to get an upset. He said, if that happens, I'll have to deal with that. He's been very low-key in this ball game. You can imagine at halftime, he told his teammates, his team, don't get too excited. You get a good look at Chester Taylor there getting a well-deserved break.
We'll take a timeout. 17-0 Toledo. Back to Penn State after this.
For years, Honda engineers have developed the ultimate in racing technology. Innovations that have brought the manufacturers championships, the respect of the entire racing world, and of course, groupies. Fortunately, this same technology goes into every Honda we build.
Global Crossing. It's what happens when the most robust global network meets the richest content to take your business anywhere on the planet. Global Crossing, the ability to reach the world, the capacity to change it.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
It's new, it's light, but it's not soft. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Beck's Light.
Now, every time you brush, you can get a massage. The new Crest Advanced Care toothbrush has multi-level cleaning bristles, plus soft massaging tips to help keep gums healthy. New Advanced Care from Crest.
Jimmy Kennedy was the injured Nittany Lion. He's been attended to and seems to be all right, but he's got to come out for a snap. Joe Paterno trying to find somehow, some way, something that can get his football team going. 1st and 10. Bolden getting outside. There goes Bolden. Oh, what a great block by Chester Taylor. And Bolden is out to the 32-yard line. 20 yards for Tavares Bolden. And Taylor had a big block at about the 40-yard line to help spring him.
Taylor had a block, but Dante Green, number 17, puts the big block on Bob Jones. That springs Bolden and gets him out onto the corner. Again, Mel Long down the field. Nice blocking.
On 1st and 10. Taylor again. Taylor to the 27-yard line. Justin Kirpakis. A pair of good blocks for Toledo on that last play.
A pair of good blocks. You see these guys just coming out of nowhere. Right there, Chester Taylor gets the block on Finney, the linebacker. Toledo team is doing a tremendous job of not just blocking at the point of attack, but blocking downfield and watching their interior line doing a tremendous job of pulling laterally and opening these holes for their backs and quarterback.
Second down, Bolden to Taylor. And Kirpakis there to finish him off. Bruce Branch was the first to arrive.
One of the bright spots has been Kirpakis for Penn State. He's a consistent ball player, a hard-working ball player. Reads the screen, comes down the line on Taylor. Good inside-out pursuit. Smart ball player. They like Kirpakis. Again, he's a blue-collar kind of worker, blue-collar defensive end.
Third down and 9. Bolden, flushed out. He'll tuck it. And he dives very close to the first down. I think he's got another one. Jimmy Kennedy made the stop. Tavares Bolden is taking a page out of Rashard Casey's book. And he's got another Toledo first down.
Tavares Bolden likes to run the football. He likes to cut it up in there, but he's done a good job today of staying in the pocket and picking and choosing those moments when he can run the football. Right now, inside the 30-yard line, he has man coverage. That's why there's no one in the middle of the field. They're all in man-to-man bump and run coverage.
Taylor. Chester Taylor. Kennedy catches him at the 13. It's another 7-yard pickup. To lead Penn State 17-0 certainly is an accomplishment. But to come out in the second half, Don, and move the football from your own end all the way in deep into Penn State territory, this Toledo ball club is impressive in just every phase of the game right now.
And right now, I think they're most impressive in their maturity. They're seeing a Penn State team that's a little wounded, and they haven't taken their foot off the throat. They're going for the jugular. They're going for the kill.
Second down. Bolden's in trouble. He throws it and completes it. Lyle Green, touchdown, Toledo.
Touchdown, Toledo.
Joe Paterno has coached for 51 years, and I don't know that he's ever seen anything quite like this.
I don't know if the 90-some-odd thousand fans that are here have seen anything quite like this. And even this guy won't smile yet. He's driving me crazy. He's got to see him smile. He's got to get excited about his team. Right now with a 24-0 lead.
Gary Pinkel is all business. So is Tavares Bolden. Toledo 24-0.
To all the new e-businesses just getting started, why not talk to the company that's pioneered the business-to-business revolution on the web? One whose experience in e-commerce has become a model for doing business on the internet. One who can help you achieve the same success with your e as we have with ours. Dell knows how e works. Visit Dell.com.
Dell e-business servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
You can express your opinion about the environment on your car, or you can do it with your car. It's America's first gasoline-electric hybrid, the Insight from Honda. The most fuel-efficient car in the world.
ATT man, he's my brother. He was always on the phone, always calling his sweeties.
C-A-L-L-A-T-T.
He had issues.
For the same low rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Shouldn't everything be this simple? Thousands of new and pre-owned cars from AutoBytel.com. Low, no haggle pricing and a pre-owned car guarantee. AutoBytel.com.
ESPN2's presentation of college football is brought to you by Honda, proud sponsor of the 2000 FedEx Championship Series. And by new Beck's Light. All beer, no compromise. Look for Beck's Light in a clear bottle wherever you buy Beck's.
The construction has stopped for a day at Beaver Stadium. It is stopped for the Toledo Rockets, who are dismantling Penn State right now. 24-0. The man on the left is the defensive coordinator for the Rockets, Tom Amstutz. The man on the far right is Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator. They have done a marvelous job in preparing this Toledo team. Watson at the 5. And Watson out to the 34-yard line.
You know, it just staggers your mind. Pettigrew has a nice bead on Bolden, and he just keeps his feet, gets the ball to Green, who is an art back, who's kind of like a tight end who slips out. Again, you get into man coverage down here, and you get a guy out there on the perimeter. There's plenty of room to run once you get inside the 30-yard line.
80 yards on that scoring drive. 83, 80, 40, and 54 are the scoring drives by Toledo today. Casey to McCoo. He's going nowhere. Tom Amstutz, the defensive coordinator for Toledo, told us yesterday they got the first pick of the players. He was talking recruiting. We have to figure out a way to beat them. And he said, I think we've got one.
And I tell you, the way they've done it is what he said yesterday is to cause mayhem. And there's Tom right there. Cause the mayhem in the secondary, cause the mayhem in the front, and give Casey different looks.
Casey's throw is caught by the tight end, Tony Stewart. He has stood up. And the Rockets swarm to the football at the 38-yard line. 24-0 Toledo.
And defensive coaches love to see that kind of swarm. You get a tight end, kind of like a wildebeest when they're caught in the middle of the field and all the animals just come jumping on their backs.
There's Amstutz.
Amstutz, you talked to him yesterday, and he's more like a carnival employee. He's just a happy-go-lucky guy yesterday, talking with him. But you can see his defense plays like he coaches, and that is very tenacious and aggressive.
He said at one point today, every member of his defense will have been in on a blitz. And he was true to his word. Casey scrambling, throwing, it's caught. Larry Johnson, touchdown Penn State. 60 yards. And finally, 96,000 have something to make some noise about.
And credit that man right there, Rashard Casey, taking the defense to the boundary and finding Johnson back in the middle of the field. Casey got so much of the criticism for being a part of that loss, but he's been really the bright spot today, making things happen.
That's the extra point.
Ryan Primanti for the extra point. He missed it.
Wow.
One step forward and one step back. But the Nittany Lions are on the board, and that's a start.
That is a start. And there is something to cheer about, and that's they got on the board, but it's not by design, and that's going to drive these coaches crazy. Casey takes the defense to the boundary, throws the ball blindly back across the field. And when you do that, this Toledo defense has been so aggressive on the flow, not much going on in the middle of the field. Good pursuit by the Toledo defense, but great vision. Tom Amstutz, we've been talking about his defense and playing very aggressively. All he can do on a play like that is throw his pin down, and there goes the shutout.
Joe Paterno continues to pace.
Joe Paterno is a sound X's and O's guys, and he knows that you're not going to live and die. You're not going to win games by those types of plays. He's still concerned with his ball club. He wants to get them going, but he's still concerned that that's how they score. They have to get something going with a sound offensive attack.
David Kimball will kick it off. That's the first touchdown by the offense in 7 quarters of football this year. Carl Ford out to the 20-yard line. And Toledo will have the football at their own 20. Gary Pinkel told Nick Lowry that Toledo had to be ready for Penn State's push. They were going to make one. He knew it. And it has arrived.
And I think that was Pinkel just talking and keeping a level head with his ball club. I don't think Penn State has much of a push. They're trying to get the crowd into this ball game right now to give them energy that I don't think they have.
Antoine McCray is the back behind Bolden. This is McCray. Look at him go! McCray across the 35, and there is an answer by the Rockets. An emphatic answer as McCray rips off a 19-yard run.
Rich, the Penn State defensive front is so soft at the point of attack. Watch the top of your screen, right side. So soft at the point of attack. You see Comer, you see Schaefer, these guys pushing that defensive line out of the way.
Matt Comer, Michael Schaefer, Nick Otterbacher, Jim Harding, and Noah Swartz. The offensive line of Toledo. McCray out to the 41-yard line. It's a 2-yard pickup. Shamar Finney on the stop. ESPN Game Plan gives you all the college football you can stand. You can watch more than 100 extra college games, up to 10 games each Saturday. Call your local cable company, DirecTV, or the Dish Network. Rich Waltz, Darren McPherson, Nick Lowry, State College, Pennsylvania, where Toledo is turning the Big Ten on its ear. McCray fights his way to the 46. Third down and 4. The Toledo Rockets dominated the first half, built a 17-0 lead, drove 80 yards their first possession second half, and are dominating in terms of rushing yards, lead 24-6.
The only bright spot so far for Penn State has been some nice improvisation by Rashard Casey.
Third down 4. Bolden to the sidelines. Mel Long makes the catch. Picking up third downs in college football is not easy. Picking up third downs in the Big Ten is very difficult. And Toledo and Gary Pinkel are 10 of 13 on third down today.
You know, we can talk Toledo, and Gary Pinkel, I think, knows this right now, that his team has to keep playing consistent football. But you have a problem on the other side of the field. Penn State is not even playing like the worst Penn State team I've ever seen.
Lyle Green in motion. Chester Taylor's back here to the 44. USC with a tremendous effort, though I don't think they dominated as much as Toledo dominated. The special teams last week, a block punt, a fumble recovery, an interception for a touchdown. Toledo's offensive line is dominating Joe Paterno's defensive line right now.
And I think that's the difference. Last week against USC, there were special teams breakdowns. The offense gave up a touchdown. That's been the difference. The offense has not given up anything today. It's been the defense.
A second down, Taylor. And Taylor is hauled down by Tikas Pettigrew. On the Penn State sideline, Nick Lowry. Nick?
Well, guys, we've been looking for signs of life here, and they're still not really very evident. I'm used to a team like Penn State talking to each other, figuring out where they've got the right matches. There's nothing like that. They're standing watching the game, but there isn't a sense that anyone's generating any catalyst on the sideline.
It's a good point, Nick. It's a Penn State team that did not finish the season strong last year, though they did win their bowl game. They won it convincingly. Beating Texas A&M in the Alamo Bowl. Bolden, quarterback draw. He's caught at the 38-yard line. Shamar Finney made the stop. And that'll bring up a 4th down and a decision for Gary Pinkel.
I would go for it. I don't think the Penn State offense hasn't done enough to convince me otherwise, and I think the Toledo defense has done a good job of stuffing them when they have the opportunities. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to go for it.
Tom Bradley, defensive coordinator for Penn State. Toledo's going to talk about it. The Rockets have called a timeout. 24-6, Toledo on top. A real eye-opener in Happy Valley.
Introducing VitaFree.com's $10 million diet giveaway. If you want to lose weight, but don't want to pay $50 a bottle for Metabolite 356 or Slim RX, this limited time offer is for you. VitaFree.com is giving away a full 3-month supply of Diet ZX. That's a $150 value free, just to introduce you to VitaFree.com's website or 800 number. Diet ZX has the same ingredients as Metabolite 356 and Slim RX. Diet ZX is also available without ephedrine and can help you lose pounds and inches fast and easy. But while you can pay up to $50 a bottle for Metabolite or Slim RX, now you can get the same ingredients and all the same benefits free. Plus, Diet ZX contains extra ingredients to burn carbohydrates. This special VitaFree.com introductory free offer for a full 3-month supply of Diet ZX won't last long. So call now or log on to VitaFree.com's website to receive your free 3-month supply of Diet ZX. Or call the number below to take advantage of this incredible free offer. This is a limited introductory free offer, so you must act fast. Call now.
The stars will be shining down on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series when top drivers take on the wide track at Richmond International Raceway. The Kroger 200, Thursday at 8 on ESPN2.
A great tradition continues on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights. This week's main event, Arturo Gatti takes on Joe Hutchinson in a 10-round welterweight battle. Friday Night Fights, Friday at 10 on ESPN2.
Gary Pinkel, the head coach of Toledo, with a decision to make. 24-6, the Rockets lead Penn State. 3.5 minutes left, third quarter. It's 4th and about 3. Don McPherson, does he try to draw him offside?
I would try to draw him offside. Tavares Bolden does not have the ability to check off. So if he doesn't see what he likes, I would think he's going to check off here. Or go for the offside.
Taylor on an inside handoff. Taylor is very close. He is right on the line. Jimmy Kennedy made the stop. Penn State thinks they've held. Kennedy goes 6'5", 320. He's not an easy man to move.
Don't think he got it on the spot. The official coming down the line. I think he needs to get just past, just inside the 45, excuse me, 35.
Penn State holds. And the Nittany Lions get the ball back. But I think a gutsy move by Gary Pinkel.
Definitely a gutsy move by Gary Pinkel. And there's Kennedy right there, the big guy. As you said, 325 pounds in the middle. Nice job off the double team and then the pursuit down the line. That's why he's an All-American. At his size, can fight off the double team and come down the line. 6'5", 320 out of Yonkers, New York.
Penn State with the ball now. They struck for a 61-yard touchdown pass on their last possession. Casey. A lot of time. Running out of it. And out of the pocket, he slips. Casey finally is stopped at the 32-yard line. It will be an adventurous loss of about 4 yards.
Once again, you have to credit the defense down the field. There's Fran Ganter on the left, talking to Rashad Casey right there, his quarterback. He's got two guys right there in the middle of the screen. He's not throwing the ball on time. He's looking to make something happen deep down the field. McCoo is wide open down the field. Casey was looking right away. He was looking too far deep down the field trying to make something big happen.
2nd and 13. Almost picked off. Ira Singleton, the Rover.
Ira Singleton had 6 on that. If he makes the catch, I don't think anyone's been able to catch Rashard Casey's passes all day long, not even Ira Singleton. This time, Casey throws on time. He sets up, trying to get to his tight end, but Ira Singleton does a nice job of undercutting. He makes this catch. That's 6 points.
Third down and 13, as you can see, just 3 of 9 today. Penn State calls a timeout. Frank Ganner, the offensive coordinator. He's been the offensive coordinator since 1984. He's been on Joe Paterno's staff for 30 years.
You know, he'll be the first to tell you no one outworks Joe Paterno, but he's going to have to get a lot of time this year, the next couple of days, with his offensive line and with his offensive unit, and get them to sharpen what they're doing, because they're not being very effective. They're not very effective today.
Let's spend some time with Reese Davis. Reese?
All right, Rich, and like Penn State, Ohio State's offense has been sputtering, but boy, does the defense ever have their back against Fresno State. David Mitchell, we saw him pick up a fumble and returning for a touchdown earlier. This pick is going to go 63 yards. It's the Buckeyes' 3rd defensive touchdown of the day. They only had 1 all of last season. Ohio State rolling.
Well, the state of Ohio is obviously happy with that one and downright ecstatic right now. Toledo 24, Penn State 6. Matt Seneca warming up. 3rd down. Blitz coming. Casey to the sidelines, has a man. Short of the 1st down. Kenny Watson the catch. The crowd wants Penn State to go for it.
With 2 minutes left, I don't think they have much of a choice but to go for it. 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. I still think they need to go for it, but it looks like they're bringing on the punting unit.
Toledo not only has moved the football, but they've eaten clock all day long. David Royer to punt it. Brandon Hefflin. A fair catch at the 10-yard line. Chester Taylor getting ready to go back to work. Sunday night on ESPN, the NFL starts with the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. It all begins with NFL primetime at 7:30. Eddie George, Steve McNair. Eric Moulds going for the Bills. Then the season premiere of ABC's Monday Night Football. Terrell Davis and the Broncos against the defending Super Bowl champs, the St. Louis Rams. Al Michaels, Dan Fouts, Dennis Miller on Labor Day, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for primetime NFL football. Antoine McCray breaks into the secondary across the 20 to the 21-yard line. James Boyd made the stop. Don, you have stated it throughout the day that Penn State's problems are not Rashard Casey. Matt Seneca has warmed up, and it looks like they're getting set to put him in next series.
Well, I think it's a smart move for the simple reason so far that the only thing that they've been able to generate has been off of the back or legs of Casey. You're going to get your quarterback hurt if you expect him to play that kind of ball game. They need to get him prepared to play.
That one goes nowhere. So the move to Seneca, is it to get Seneca, get him time, or is it to get Penn State back in the ball game?
I think it's definitely to get Penn State back in the ball game, but it starts with changing the rhythm of the game. It hasn't been going well for Penn State offensively, so you make a change at quarterback. Maybe you go to a little base offense. You saw in that last series that Casey had the two guys open short, didn't take them, was looking to go deep. You want a guy who's going to take what you have right away, and Seneca will do that because he's not relying on his athleticism.
Oh, big hit. Aaron Gatton smelled that one out. Third down and long. Rashard Casey in there somewhere.
Gatton comes off the corner on this one like a Penn State linebacker, a ball top of your screen, coming down the line, following the pulling guard in the back.
Three-quarters of football have expired at Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. Many people are looking at this score in disbelief. Believe it, Toledo 24, Penn State 6. Joe Paterno told us yesterday that Toledo really concerned him. And he meant it. The Jopa Beanie Baby. On third down, Bolden. He'll throw it. Caught! Dante Green has the first down, and Rashard Casey and the Penn State Nittany Lions are watching a clinic by Tavares Bolden and the Toledo Rocket offense.
Tavares Bolden and the Toledo offensive line just keeping everyone away from Bolden, who has plenty of time here. He cocks a couple of times. One, looks again, sets his feet again. Two, finally gets rid of it. And Dante Green, not a very big guy in there.
No, 5'8", 183. All he had to do was catch the ball, and he did. Antoine McCray stopped at the 33-yard line.
Antoine McCray, the ball carrier.
Toledo 24, Penn State 6. Chester Taylor, the best-kept secret in America, no longer. 120 yards. Toledo has dominated every facet of the game. On third down, they're 11 of 15. Rashard Casey and the rest of the offense has been frustrated, and a lot of it goes to the very bottom, Don, the lack of a running game.
It certainly does. A dismal 1.9 yards a carry. You can get nothing going with that kind of production.
Second down. Bolden's throw. Mel Long has the catch to the 38-yard line. Big day for Tavares Bolden. A gentleman named Vic is having a big day, right, Reese Davis?
You are correct, Rich. You know, there are games in which you just pad your stats for a Heisman run, and this is such a game for Michael Vick against Akron. Virginia Tech already up 35-17. Vick already has one touchdown pass. Let's make it two to Andre Davis right there. 42-17, and oh, by the way, Vick's run for two also.
But the MAC Conference is standing proud in State College. 24-6 Toledo. Third down. Bolden. Short of the first down. Antoine McCray made the catch.
Complete to number 5, Antoine McCray.
Derek Tolles, the stop for Penn State, along with Michael Haynes.
I think that Vic is probably your Heisman candidate and your big-time guy, but I like the job this guy right here is doing today. Tavares Bolden, 140 yards passing. That last play, he took his time, looked to the field, checked down, went for the safe pass. That's fine. He's playing a nice, safe ball game.
Brandon Hannum, the true freshman, to punt it away. Under some pressure, this is Kenny Watson. And Watson goes down at the 22-yard line. 39 yards on the punt. Jason Manson on the stop. Toledo 24-6.
This world-class event is a winner. Toyota's 2000 clearance. Big once-a-year event. Big selection of new Toyotas. And big clearance values. Are you ready to go for it?
Get ready! Get ready! Get ready!
Get to this world-class clearance event.
Get ready! Get ready!
your Toyota dealer.
Someday, at a job interview, they'll ask, do you work well under pressure? Try not to laugh.
Introducing Bosch Platinum Plus 4. 4 electrodes. Pure platinum. Take your engine to a higher power. New Bosch Platinum Plus 4.
ATT man? Oh, he's our son. Always let us know where he was by calling us collect.
Not that we asked.
Even as a baby, he was very smart.
For the same low rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Those are the teeth that protect our beer from wussies and place kickers. Introducing crisp, easy-drinking Beck's Light.
The hopes of the Nittany Lions, at least on this Saturday, now rest on the shoulders of 6'3" Matt Seneca, who quickly goes to the air. It is caught, a sliding catch by Tony Stewart, the tight ends. 24-6, Toledo on top. Rashard Casey's afternoon has been a mixed bag. He threw some great balls in the first half, got no help, and then in the second half made a few mistakes.
One of the things about leadership, the biggest mistake he made is not confronting his teammates. You see him on the sideline right now. He's a very calm guy. We talked about the open, very even keel. When you have 5 drop balls in one half of football, you have to get in somebody's face.
Seneca's throw is incomplete. Stewart was the intended receiver. Stewart wanted interference. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. What do we have now in Matt Seneca? He's a dramatic difference from Casey.
It's a dramatic difference. He's a guy who doesn't have as much experience, so you're not going to try as many things. Going back to basics, that's what they wanted to do anyway in this ball game. The second thing is he's not going to look and see the whole field. He's going to pick out a guy and throw the football. He's going to throw it on time. That's what you want to do right now. Penn State has not done enough in this ball game to do a lot of different things. The basic read passes.
Seneca running out of time and out of the pocket and out of bounds. I don't know if he had enough for the first down. He doesn't. Dewon Gould on the pursuit. And again, I'll ask you the question, 4-down territory?
Well, you're in a ball game where I don't think you have many options right now. You're down 24-6 with 11.5 minutes to go in the ball game. I think you have to take every opportunity you get to get the ball down the field. Their longest drive all day long was 35 yards. That's minus the 66-yard touchdown. I think you have to go for it. You have to put something together here.
On 4th and 1, McCoo. Boy, I don't know. Not convincingly, just very close. Tom Ward, the sophomore out of Defiance, Ohio, made the stop, but it is enough for the first down.
Tom Ward, the sophomore, fills the gap. With the help of Gardner, fills the gap and does a nice job of holding off McCoo. I thought it was a questionable call on the first down, but Penn State gets more life.
Seneca. Incomplete. Saramelli was the intended receiver.
David Gardner on the coverage. 2nd down.
Saramelli out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, as is Seneca.
And this is going to happen a lot to Seneca. He's going to get smacked around pretty good. He's not a guy who's going to get out of the pocket very much. Welcome to Big Ten football. Or as Toledo says, welcome to the MAC.
Absolutely. So how will Toledo do in the Big Ten this year, Don? Seneca, he's going down at the 27-yard line. Tavares Bolden likes it. Franco Fili, the freshman out of Ypsilanti.
You get a big old smile from Coach Amstutz there. He's happy to see the strength and depth of his team is his defensive front. 99 of Philly is a backup. Bachmore, a backup. He's got backups there now, playing in the middle, getting sacks against Seneca.
Third down and long. Seneca. He'll go down again. O'Feely and Samir Hamoud. This is for all the players and all the coaches that felt slighted by Big Ten teams, that weren't recruited by the Penn States, the Ohio States, the Michigans, that play football in the MAC, because Toledo has come to Penn State and has dominated the Nittany Lions. Gary Pinkel's name has been on the hot list for head coaches for some time now. He has spent 10 years at Toledo, Don. He told us yesterday he's turned down some jobs, and the one reason, his family. He wanted his children, he has 3 of them, to graduate from the same high school, and they've done that in Toledo. His youngest son will graduate in June, and we asked him, does that mean you're interested in after this, will you be more likely to go someplace? And he looked at us and said, my youngest will graduate in June.
And he said if a bigger job, if a #1 job comes up, and he mentioned a couple of teams, a couple of big-time programs, if those kinds of jobs come a-calling, he's more likely to take a shot and go for it. Right now, he's a man who's happy in Toledo.
Yeah, and he said, you know what, there are a lot of bad jobs out there, and sometimes coaches leave for the wrong reasons. You can be successful at Toledo, and we as a staff have been successful at Toledo. And he's been very, very happy there. Heflin to the 33-yard line. 46 yards on the kick. Mighty Toledo has come to Penn State, and the Rockets are rocking Penn State's world.
First and 10 for Penn State from their own 35.
E-T-M-O-V-E-S-S. BET Movies, the all-black movie channel, has star power. Think about it. New hits. That's right. Fat favorites.
Comes with the territory.
And more. Uncut, commercial-free 24/7. It's not the same as your regular BET. You gotta dial the digits to get it. You've got to do it! BET Movies, celebrating the black experience.
Just one of 12 commercial-free movie channels, only $10 more per month with your total choice package.
Some families don't mind fighting over the remote. But there is a way to control what your kids watch. Get with the pack. The Family Pack from DirecTV. 9 great family-friendly networks with something for everyone. Programming that will entertain and inform no matter what your age. And it's completely kid-safe. So quit wrestling over the remote. For domestic harmony and a howlin' good time, get the Family Pack from DirecTV.
Hello, I'm Tom Jackson, analyst on NFL Primetime, where we follow 4 golden rules. 1, never use computer enhancement to improve highlights. 2, never say the Redskins are playing the Cowboys when they're playing the Giants. And 4, never hold back the best highlights just to spite the audience. Because at ESPN, we always play by the rules.
NFL Primetime, Sundays at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN.
ESPN2's presentation of college football is brought to you by Toyota. Go for it every day.
This was to be a day of redemption for Penn State for last weekend's loss to USC. But the Toledo Rockets and a small band of faithful fans have made their way to State College, and the Rockets have a 24-6 lead. Chester Taylor to the 35-yard line.
Chester Taylor, the ball carrier.
One of the things that Toledo fans should know about Chester Taylor, not only is he an All-American candidate, and he's come out of the shadows of the MAC today, but the senior is actually a junior. He was a partial qualifier, Donnie, when he arrived at Toledo. If he graduates or is on schedule to graduate by June, he gets another year of eligibility next year, and he is on schedule to graduate by June.
He's taking 10 credits now, and he will graduate in June and have a chance to bring this kid back.
Broken play. Bolden goes down at the 32-yard line. It's one of the few times we've seen confusion on the Toledo side of the ball.
And that's a smart play by Bolden. You know, you got a nice lead here. You played a good game. He points to himself right there. Says, it's my fault. I went the wrong way. Don't compound it. Go down. And those are the things that Gary Pinkel says he has to do. He has to play a smart ball game. And I asked him yesterday, is this a game he has to win to become a great quarterback? He talked about coming from behind. He talked about making the big play at the right time. I think this game puts him into that category of Toledo greatness.
Incomplete. Fourth down and 13. Toledo getting set to punt. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. Has Joe Paterno ever lost to a MAC team? Now that's a 50%er right there.
Now is that McPherson or MAC Conference?
Mac Davis in North Dallas 40. Long count for Hannum. Not a pretty one. Rod Perry on the return. Flag goes down. May have been a face mask. 43 yards on the kick. Corey Morris made the stop. Face mask against Toledo. 8 minutes and 13 seconds left in this ball game. Toledo on top of Penn State big. 24-6. Toledo on top of Penn State. 8:13 left in the ball game. Matt Seneca's second possession. And he'll throw it out of bounds. This is a big day for Toledo and a big day for the athletic director, Pete Lisk. Right, Nick Lowry?
You bet. Pete Lisk was a great quarterback in the CFL, the AFL, the NFL. He was an official in the NFL. But today, I bet what's on your mind is 3 years starting quarterback at Penn State. Is it bittersweet for you, Pete?
No, absolutely not. We're just here supporting Toledo, and that's the only thing that matters today. We want to win a ball game.
Tell me about the academic commitment, too, that you share between Penn State and Toledo.
Well, the philosophy is exactly the same, and you really have to give credit to Gary Pinkel and our coaching staff because they adhere to that, and the kids work very hard at doing it, and they do a great job in the classroom.
Are you going to talk or spend any time with Joe after the game?
I don't think Joe would want to talk to me too much. He normally didn't if I screwed up when I played here, so I don't think he will. But, I'll just send him a nice note because they were very first class about everything that they did for us in our trip here. This is a first-class program, and we're really honored to be here.
Well, thank you, Pete. We appreciate it, and back up to you guys.
Thanks, Nick. Not only has Pete Lisk crashed Penn State's party, but when he played here, he crashed Joe Paterno's car. Maybe that's why Pete doesn't want to talk to him after the game. That one is incomplete. When Pete Lisk was a player and before the NCAA sanctions were NCAA sanctions,
that's right.
Joe Paterno lent Pete Lisk his car because he had to go home for some reason.
He was with Dick Anderson.
Oh, it was Dick Anderson, the one of the assistant coaches. That's right. And it was they had an icy patch. Joe said he had a nice little, I think it was a 63 red convertible or something. Right. And they wiped the car out. The kids were okay, but Paterno's car was a mess. Seneca goes down again. Leo Frierson the sack. And look at Tom Amstutz, the defensive coordinator.
We talked about the backups being in on the last series. Now the starters are back in the ball game. Fresh legs. Frierson just comes right through the middle. Toledo with an excellent game plan. And Tom Amstutz is just beside himself right now with a brilliant job of game planning against what was supposed to be a very tough opponent.
The Toledo coaches, Amstutz and Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator, and Pinkel yesterday were very confident that their team would play well. You don't get that sense a lot of times when you approach a mismatch on paper. That was Christensen on the far right in that coach's box. On paper, Penn State was a 3-touchdown favorite. And, you know, from afar, you see Toledo, you see Penn State, and you think cupcake. But people close to the game of college football knew that this would be a pretty good game. I don't think anyone knew it would be a blowout to this extent.
No, they knew it would be a good game because of Penn State not playing that well last week. They lose Arrington, they lose Brown, lost some key people, but also Toledo had a lot coming back. They finished last year very strong, a lot of key returns, especially on the offensive line.
And Chester Taylor, who is over 100 yards, to the 44-yard line. Coming up at 3:30 Eastern on ABC, college football, number 3 Alabama against UCLA. Some of you will see Brigham Young against Virginia. I think that was Lee Corso's upset special. I think he picked BYU in that one. Check your local listings, all the games on pay-per-view, by calling your local cable or satellite company. Rich Waltz, Don McPherson, and Nick Lowry in State College, where the mighty Mac has dominated Penn State. Speaking of the Mac, let's head to the studios and Reese Davis. Reese?
Well, not nearly as good a day for Bowling Green. Rich already down 28-0 to Michigan, courtesy of 4 John Navarre touchdown passes in his debut. And how about a ride on the A train, 27 yards out? Thomas takes it in, 35-0 there in the 4th.
The MAC against the Big Ten. There's been a history of upsets. Toledo beat Purdue in '97. Miami upset Northwestern, and that was Northwestern's only regular season loss. Central Michigan beat Michigan State in '92. And of course, next Saturday on ESPN, Marshall against Michigan State. Taylor inside the 40, or rather, it's McCray. And Gary Pinkel said something interesting yesterday about Marshall. He said that in the MAC conference, Marshall really raised the bar the last 3 years with Randy Moss and Chad Pennington and what Bob Pruitt has done there at Marshall. He said the rest of the MAC is starting to catch up to Marshall.
It's brought a lot of attention to the conference, not only television attention and the attention of other coaches around and players, but high school kids who want to play big-time football. They see a guy like Randy Moss come out and be a first-round draft choice. They see Pennington come out, be a first-round draft choice. The MAC championship moves to ABC this year. They're very excited. They get a chance to play big-time football on television.
And they've had success in bowl games. Marshall beat BYU, dominated them last year, 21-3. The Rockets getting set to punt the football. Our Aflac trivia question: had Joe Paterno ever lost to a MAC team? Well, he had lost to a team quarterbacked by Don McPherson, but he never lost to a team from the MAC conference. Somewhere today, Don James, the former coach at the University of Washington and at Kent, is smiling because he had a player when he was the coach at Kent named Gary Pinkel. Pinkel followed him to Washington, was his offensive coordinator for the Huskies before he went on his own to Toledo. They still talk. They're very close. And Gary Pinkel holds Don James in the highest of regards. Watson knocked out of bounds. 24-6, 5.5 minutes left. And yes, your screen is correct.
This world-class event is a winner. Toyota's 2000 clearance. Big once-a-year event. big selection of new Toyotas, and big clearance values. Are you ready to go for it? Get to this world-class clearance event now at your Toyota dealer.
Little stress? Bet us online investors aren't helping your blood pressure.
Online? I'm on Wall Street, a professional.
My online broker lets me see stock quotes the same way they see them at the exchange.
You do not see them continuously, not as the market's moving.
Actually, I do. Say ah. Ah. That's why Daytech calls it streamer.
Very well.
Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
Hey, Mr. Toolbelt, why don't you change your oil every 3,000 miles? And remember, women know when you lie. I mean, missed oil changes. You know better. Come on, consider the risk. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Can you say insurance? Because I could say I told you so. Reformulated Quaker State. What more do you need to know?
Save up to $50 on leading car care products when you buy Quaker State at participating retailers.
24-6. Toledo on top of Penn State. Tavares Bolden.
You know what I'm saying? Back in Cleveland, baby.
Tavares Bolden and the Rockets with a 24-6 lead. On the ground, Penn State just 6 yards last week against USC. This week against Toledo, 29 yards on 27 carries. Seneca's throw is dropped.
That would be about the 7th drop of the afternoon. Less than 30 yards rushing per half for Penn State. There's something fundamentally wrong with this team. You heard John Mackman earlier talk about they couldn't have lost that many players, that many key players to play so poorly. There's something fundamentally wrong with what's going on at Penn State. So many off-season problems, off-the-field problems, and you have to think it's starting to affect this entire ball club.
That one is actually caught. Eric McCoo made the catch. Chains will move. Clock is stopped momentarily. Things don't get that much easier for this Penn State team. Louisiana Tech comes to town next week. Tony Stewart makes the catch. Seneca starting to feel his rhythm.
Seneca's pass complete to number 89.
And then Penn State has to go to Pitt before opening the Big Ten on the road at Ohio State.
And both Louisiana Tech and Pitt are playing good football. Pitt's starting to come around.
Out to the Toledo 45, Tony Stewart with the catch.
Walt Harris has done a fine job at Pittsburgh in bringing that program back around. And Louisiana Tech last year, big upset at Alabama.
Seneca again hook shot. Fumble. Toledo ball. The finishing touch on one of the biggest upsets in college football in some time. Not necessarily for the score, but for the game. And the way the Rockets, Tom Amstutz, their defensive coordinator, manhandled the Nittany Lions.
This has just been a complete domination on both sides of the football, and every time Penn State has had a little bit of an opportunity, something like this happens. Watson making too many moves with the football, gives it up, and like you said, finishing touches, because now you're just totally demoralized for Penn State. A little bit of opportunity, a touchdown there on this drive. Maybe you get some life, you do something right.
And the Rockets will try to run this clock out. Bolden, nifty move, and he's outside. Tavares Bolden to the 47-yard line.
Tavares Bolden, the ball carrier.
When Bolden was 13 years of age, he moved in with his older sister. And as he grew up in a troubled area, His older sister helped keep him out of trouble. And Bolden got himself into Toledo and has excelled. He is a junior out of Cleveland. As you heard him say, the folks in Cleveland have got to be pretty proud of him tonight, as is his older sister. Taylor, he's got a first down. Chester Taylor to the 48-yard line. He's another success story academically. We'll get to that in a moment. Athletically, he's impressive as well.
He certainly is. And tremendous blocking up front for Chester Taylor and Tavares Bolden all day long, but so much he does on his own. We talked about him in the open. He has the size and the power to cut up in the middle, but also the speed to turn around the corner. We've seen him do it all today.
Gary Pinkel saved his most glowing comments on Taylor for his academics. He entered Toledo as an academic non-qualifier, and he's on the honor roll now. He's scheduled to graduate in June, and because of that, he'll get another year of eligibility. McCray to the 40-yard line.
And the folks at Toledo are just so proud of all their student athletes and Gary Pinkel's commitment to academics. Taylor is just one of several athletes on this team who are honor roll students, who are on Dean's List, very similar to Penn State. They compare themselves to Penn State favorably because Penn State academically has one of the best football programs in the country and have been for many years. 21 GTE academic All-Americans. They put all players on the All-Big Ten academic All-Big Ten list every year. And Toledo favorably compares themselves to Penn State's support system.
It was called the Grand Experiment when they hired Joe Paterno, in that football players could be students as well. And I would expect they'll be experimenting with a few other things this next week here at Penn State, namely the offense and the defense.
Unlike
Amstutz.
Amstutz, he's putting on his victory shirt, I guess.
Tom Amstutz, the defensive coordinator for Toledo, the rest of the Toledo coaches. What a moment, what a thrill it must be.
It really is a tremendous thrill when you come in and you're Davis and you go down and beat Goliath. And Tom Amstutz, he was just so happy to have this opportunity yesterday when we spoke with him. He was in such a tremendous mood, and for his game plan to come through the way it has this afternoon.
Chester Taylor with a big hole, and Taylor adds to his total. He's down to the 24-yard line.
And he adds another first down, which keeps the ball in Toledo's hands and keeps the clock moving.
Our Acura College Football Today show coming up. Reese Davis, Rod Gilmore, Coach John Makovic. They'll be talking about that man, Gary Pinkel, and his Toledo Rockets. Pinkel 3-3 against Big Ten teams in his tenure at Toledo. McCray to the 18-yard line.
Rich, when you look at the rest of the games being played today and on Thursday night, you see, with the exception of Marshall, the rest of the MAC has had trouble with their Big Ten and out-of-conference opponents. And for Penn State, the rest of the Big Ten has played very, very well. So for both of these teams, they're heading in different directions.
Big hit. Michael Sickles goes down. Shamar Finney, the junior linebacker out of Shelby, North Carolina, with the hit. Dave Christensen on the right, and on the left, Tom Amstutz, the defensive coordinator. This was earlier.
Right along, let's go. Right along. Yeah. All that.
141 yards for that young man, Chester Taylor, on 30 carries. He's no longer a secret, America. Sickles to the 22. Joe Paterno in shock. as is most of college football. The mighty Mac stands tall at State College. Gary Pinkel and the Rockets with one of the biggest upsets in some time. They not only upset, but they dominate Penn State. 24-6. For Don McPherson and Nick Lowry, I'm Rich Waltz. The Acura College Football Today scoreboard show coming up.